All right, so today we are going deep on something pretty cool. We're talking articulatory phonetics.
Articulatory phonetics.
Basically, it's how we make sounds, like physically how we make sounds when we talk. It's something we do every single day, but you probably never stop and think about it.
Yeah, most people don't until, they have to.
Right, but I think once we get into this, I never knew that's how I was making that sound. So to start us off, can we define articulatory phonetics? Like, what is it in the world of linguistics?
So, articulatory phonetics is a branch of linguistics that studies how we physically produce speech sounds. It looks at things like the movements of our tongue, lips, and vocal cords, and how air flows through our vocal tract to create those sounds.
So it's like taking a deep dive into our mouths.
Exactly.
Okay, so the vocal tract, it's like this amazing instrument.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through like the key players? What are the main parts of the vocal tract that we're using to make these sounds?
Well, it all starts with the lungs, right? They
Mhm.
provide the airflow that's needed to create sound. Then we have the larynx, which houses the vocal cords. The vocal cords vibrate, which is what gives our voice its pitch. And then above the larynx, we have the pharynx, the oral cavity, and the nasal cavity. And all of these cavities act as resonating chambers, shaping the sound that's produced,
So it's like our whole head is involved.
pretty much.
So we've got air flowing, vocal cords vibrating, but how do we actually get those distinct sounds? Like the difference between a vowel and a consonant.
Okay, well, with vowels, it's all about the shape of your mouth and the position of your tongue. Like,
Okay.
think about saying, ah, your mouth is wide open and your tongue is relaxed.
Uh,
But if you say E, your tongue moves forward and up towards the roof of your mouth. That change in shape creates a different sound. Consonants, though, are more about obstructing the airflow. Like, you can completely stop the air, like when you say P or B. Or you can partially block it, like when you say F or V.
F, V. Oh, that makes sense. So it's like we're playing with the air.
Yeah, we are.
So thinking about all these different sounds and how we make them, it's got to be different between languages, right?
Racially, oh, yeah.
Like, how are some sounds produced differently across different languages?
So a really good example is the R sound.
Okay.
In English, we typically make it with the tip of our tongue curled up towards the alveolar ridge, which is the bumpy part just behind your teeth. But in French, they use the back of their tongue to make a guttural R.
Yeah. I've tried to do that French R. It's tough.
It is tricky, and that's why the International Phonetic Alphabet, or IPA, is so helpful.
IPA.
It's basically a system that has a unique symbol for every sound that exists in any language.
So it's like a universal language for sounds.
Exactly. It allows us to transcribe speech sounds accurately, regardless of the language.
It's not just for, like, hardcore linguistics people.
No, not at all.
It actually has real-world applications, right?
Yeah, it has tons of uses. Like, speech therapists use it to help people with speech disorders, and language learners can use it to improve their pronunciation.
So you're telling me that I could actually use this to finally learn how to roll my R's properly?
Absolutely. The IPA can be your guide.
Okay, I'm sold.
Good.
It's pretty cool how all this works, but it also seems, very theoretical. Like, how does knowing about articulatory phonetics actually help us in everyday life?
Well, like I mentioned before, it's super important in speech therapy. Therapists can use their knowledge of articulatory phonetics to diagnose and treat speech sound disorders.
Okay.
It's also crucial in developing speech recognition technology. The more we understand how humans produce speech sounds, the better we can program computers to recognize and understand those sounds,
Oh, right.
so that your phone can understand you when you ask it to call your mom.
Yeah.
And of course, it's incredibly helpful for anyone learning a new language. Understanding articulatory phonetics can help you improve your pronunciation and sound more like a native speaker.
So basically, this all boils down to if we want to communicate effectively, we need to understand how those sounds are made. This has been super fascinating. I know I'm never going to think about talking the same way again. Any final thoughts for our listeners?
Yeah. I just want to encourage everyone to pay attention to the sounds you're making when you speak. Like, really listen to yourself and listen to other people too. See if you can identify the different places and manners of articulation that we talked about.
Oh, that's fun.
It really can change the way you experience language.
It's a whole new way of appreciating the complexity and the beauty of human speech.
Yeah.
And it's all happening right there in our mouths.
It is.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. It was fun.